The plasma whip cracked through the air and James stepped forward. Again. Move aside, human. Princess Aliana's voice trembled with fury and something else. Fear, perhaps. For him, he didn't move. The third strike carved a burning line across his shoulder, adding to the collection of wounds that already painted his torso in shades of red and purple. His knees buckled, but he locked them straight. Behind him, Aliana remained untouched. The overseer's mandibles clicked in confusion. This makes no sense. You are not bonded. You owe her nothing. James spat blood onto the obsidian floor of the throne room. That's where you're wrong. It had been 6 months since his colony ship crashed on Zeth 7. 6 months since he'd been dragged before the Vixari court as a curiosity, a primitive human from a species barely capable of faster-than-light travel. The Vixari were ancient, powerful, and utterly convinced of their superiority. Everyone expected him to die in the gladiator pits within days. But Princess Aliana had seen something in him during that first brutal fight. When he'd refused to kill his opponent, a young Vixari soldier forced into combat as punishment, she'd intervened, spared them both. Her mother, Queen Thessara, had been livid. Mercy is weakness, the queen had declared. Then I choose weakness, Aliana had replied. That defiance had cost her. Every day since, the queen devised new punishments for her daughter, new tests to break her spirit. And every day, James found a way to take her place. The court had begun calling him the Queen's Folly, a human so stupid he'd sacrifice himself for an alien princess who could never return his devotion. Humans and Vixari were biologically incompatible. There could be no future, no bond recognized by either species. They didn't understand that he wasn't doing this for romance. He was doing it because it was right. Again, the overseer commanded. The whip descended. James caught it with his bare hand, letting it sear into his palm. The overseer's eyes widened, 4 amber orbs registering genuine shock. Enough, a voice boomed across the throne room. Queen Thessara descended from her crystalline throne, her segmented armor gleaming like mercury. She was twice Aliana's size, a warrior queen who'd conquered 17 systems. Her presence made the air itself feel heavier. Release him, she commanded. The overseer dropped the whip immediately. Thessara circled James like a predator studying wounded prey. 6 months. 43 punishments. You've taken every single one meant for my daughter. Her voice carried no warmth, but something else lurked beneath the ice. Curiosity. Why? James met her gaze, though it made his instincts scream to look away. Because she's worth protecting. She defied me. She showed weakness. By our laws, she must be punished or removed from succession. Your laws are wrong. The court gasped. No one spoke to the queen this way. Thessara's mandibles spread wide, the Vixari equivalent of a smile. You are either the bravest creature I've encountered or the most foolish. She leaned closer, her breath warm and smelling of ozone. My analysts have studied your species. Humans bond easily, love recklessly, sacrifice themselves for abstract concepts like honor and justice. It makes you weak. No, James said, legs shaking but voice steady. It makes us strong. Prove it. Before he could react, Thessara's clawed hand shot forward, wrapping around his throat. She lifted him off the ground with ease. His vision began to darken at the edges. Mother, stop! Aliana rushed forward, but guards restrained her. If human conviction is so powerful, Thessara said, then survive. James couldn't breathe, couldn't think, but he could see Aliana struggling against her captors, her bioluminescent markings flashing distress patterns across her skin. In 6 months, he'd learned to read those patterns like a language. She was terrified. For him, he'd promised himself he wouldn't let her feel that way ever again. With the last of his strength, James didn't struggle. Instead, he placed his hand over Thessara's wrist, not fighting, just resting it there. His eyes never left hers. Go ahead, he whispered. But it won't change what your daughter knows. That there's another way. That mercy isn't weakness. That caring about others makes us stronger, not weaker. His lips pulled into a bloody smile. You can kill me, but you can't kill that truth. Silence filled the throne room. Then Thessara laughed. A sound like grinding metal that sent shivers through every courtier present. She released James, letting him crumple to the floor. Extraordinary, she said. The analysts were wrong. You're not weak at all, human. You're terrifying. She turned to face her daughter. Aliana, you are restored to full status. Your punishment is ended. Aliana's markings shifted to colors James had never seen before, confusion mixed with hope. The Queen continued. And you, James of Earth. She extended one clawed hand toward him. I claim you as my personal guard. You will protect not only my daughter, but our entire royal line. James struggled to his feet, wincing. I don't understand. Tessara's eyes glittered with something that might have been respect. For 6 months I've tested you, broken you, tried to find your limit. She gestured to her daughter. You have shown me something I thought impossible. That loyalty can exist without bonds, that sacrifice can come from choice rather than obligation. These are traits my people have forgotten. She stepped closer, her voice dropping so only he could hear. My daughter will one day be queen. She will need someone who understands what you've shown me, someone who chooses right over easy. Her mandibles clicked thoughtfully. I cannot have you. But the throne can. James looked past the Queen to Aliana, whose markings now pulsed with brilliant gold. Joy, gratitude, and something deeper. Not love, perhaps, but profound respect. Partnership. He'd come to this world a prisoner. He'd become something else entirely. I accept, James said. The Queen nodded once. Then rise, Shield of the Crown. Your watch begins now. As the court erupted in confused murmurs, James caught Aliana's eye. She touched her hand to her heart, then extended it toward him. The Vixari gesture of eternal trust. He returned it with a human salute. They didn't need romance or biological compatibility. They had something rarer, an unshakable bond forged in sacrifice, honor, and the simple choice to be better than the cruelty around them. And that, James had learned, was the most human thing of all.